How do we become more patient in loving a woman or a husband? And how to really love a woman, in that series, I discuss something from 1 Timothy 6:11. But you, O man of God, flee these things and pursue righteousness, godliness, faith, love, patience, gentleness. I don't know about you, but pursuing patience sounds like a journey, but it's a journey that is intentional. It's saying pursue these things. What I mean by this is that you are actually aiming to arrive at a location. Much like if you have a destination, like you're going on vacation, you leave home and you got your map, or for you younger people, you have a GPS. Uh, that's maps that work for you, but you still have to drive those many hours for you to arrive at your destination. To me, this is how the journey of patience is with our spouse. You have to first be intentional. I'm going to arrive. I'm going to patience. Let's take a ride, honey, right? For the next 50 years or whatever it is. Let's take a ride and let's arrive at patience with each other. Sounds like fun? It's really not, okay? But it's really important that we get that way so we look like Jesus. I remember setting up certain months of being intentionally patient towards my spouse and others, and I was intentional. For me, this took some concentration for sure. However, I needed more than intentionality. We have all heard that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So we need a little more than that. We need to have a map. Now, here you would be a little on your own as to how you manifest impatience. Do you talk before people are done with their sentences? Do you roll your eyes? Do you walk off when others are talking to you? Do you get defensive? How you manifest your impatience, be it an attitude or a behavior, will help you create your map to patience. You say, Dr. Weiss, how would my impatient behavior help me to become more patient? You see, you can set goals from this. So if I want to talk over someone or walk off, etc., then that becomes my goal not to do those behaviors with my spouse. That's not the end of your journey, though. You are going to have to keep track every time you succeed and every time you fail in a given day. Just on a little sticky in your pocket or on your phone. When you succeed, just rejoice with yourself quietly, because we don't know how long that victory is actually going to last. You know, I was so patient, then I went for a drive, right? However, if you fail, you just go to your spouse and ask forgiveness for being impatient. Now, don't just say you're sorry, say, honey, forgive me for being impatient with you. When I did whatever you did, that was just wrong. It was sin. I'm sorry. When you ask forgiveness, you're owning your behavior. You're not excusing it, you're owning it. Now, trust me, the humility it takes for you to do that, forgive me, I was impatient with you, especially for most men, and I would say a lot of women as well, is part of the cure. You see, the pain of that humility will become more expensive to you emotionally than the pleasure you have for being self-righteous or impatient. Here's the last part you will need to be successful in your journey to be more patient with your spouse, and that is outside gender accountability. You're going to need outside gender accountability. What I mean is someone of the same sex. When I want to grow in any area of my life, I get accountable to someone. So pick someone of the same gender that you trust who can help you be accountable. This could be just a man you know from church, or if you're a woman in church, a friend, a spiritual mentor. It doesn't have to be your pastor, probably best not to be. Just somebody that you can spiritually trust. And you want to share your successes and your failures with this person, at least weekly, and in the beginning, maybe even daily, so you can get some momentum. And you will find this accountability will keep you on task and expedite you being able to create the habit of being more patient with your spouse. Now, you can call this person during the week if you're stuck or you're justifying your impatience with your spouse, and they can encourage you and even pray with you. Loving your spouse patiently, as we discussed in How to Really Love a Woman, is intentional work. I tell my clients it is so much better to be intentional being patient than it is for the Lord to keep setting up life lessons for you to learn to become patient. If he sees you're trying to love your spouse by being more patient, that shows him you are trying to love like he loves, and he will definitely give you the grace and power you need to reach this destination. Now, again, another thing you can do is continuing to figure out what are some of the variables. Like if I'm tired, I'm more impatient. Okay, then we need a bedtime. Okay, if you're staying up watching TV at night, don't do that. Get to bed early, get a good sleep. Some people, if they have caffeine, they become impatient, okay? And that might be something you need to look at. Some people, if they overeat, they get impatient, okay? If they're hungry, I am guilty of what they call hangry. You know, if I'm hungry, I am really more likely to be less patient. And so, like, I know what my kind of zones are that can put me into that place. And part of your journey might be managing those particular zones so that you can be more patient. Another thing is knowing your spouse's schedule, knowing their life, or if they're going through something that's particularly hard for them, they've lost a parent, or a friend's betrayed them, or there's financial stress in the marriage, or one of your children is acting inappropriately and it's tense. Okay, decisions are being made that they don't really agree with or you don't agree with. And there's this tenseness. Knowing when they really do need more patience is also a signal for you to say, oh, it's Thursday. They have a long day. So I need to kind of put it in my little patient gear and ride a little slower through the evening so I can be more patient for them. All of this is part of loving a woman or man patiently.
For more content and resources to help in your healing journey with Christ, make sure to follow Dr. Doug Weiss on Facebook and Instagram. If you'd like to share full episodes of this show with friends and family, subscribe to Healing Time Ministries on YouTube, and feel free to leave us a comment on any of Dr. Doug's social media platforms. Our team would love to hear your feedback and learn how Healing Time is impacting your life, your church, and your ministry.